Are you in general? Go in general. Say, someone tell Chelsea to come here.
That's the beauty of psych. Okay.
Emergency.
And ready, 1, 2, 3.
I haven't clapped in forever.
You want to clap this time?
No, you did it this time. That's fine. I didn't even clap on my birthday.
How about you clap on Tuesday? Wow. Jeez.
Did we clap on our thing?
I think we have been clapping.
Listen.
How about next Tuesday you clap?
Next Tuesday I'll clap. Everyone get ready for it.
That's
also,
great. Welcome. Hello.
Welcome to Little Talks Podcast, April 5th. I've been told.
April 5th, what?
I've been told we need to start the podcast slightly differently.
Oh, by who? Oh, our producer. Okay.
Our producer.
So a legitimate source.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Here's what you're going to hear about today on today's podcast. Before we get into the personal stuff, we need to get into the rhythm to do this.
Yeah, I like that.
Today we're going to talk about Meta reducing the price of its VR headsets in order to maximize VR adoption. And we have some personal angles on that we want to talk about. And our second topic today, if we get to it, is LinkedIn has added AI-generated profile summaries and job listings. So AI, again, it's going to be AI a lot. Those are the two topics, if you can get through the opening with us, that we're going to talk about. I think did I do it right, Brandon? Okay, good enough. Here's what's happening.
I think that's a great point. Good job, Brandon.
Here's what's happening.
That's why you're here.
Brandon is masterminding and working on the ability for us to do this live so that we can record like we are now, but also so it will broadcast live, probably on Facebook and Instagram.
Love it.
And he told me, he said, as our new producer, and I value all these notes. I really do. He said, when we do this live, you really want to get to the meat of it. So all that jibber jabber you guys do at the beginning, how do people know what the topic's going to be?
No, that's a really good point.
You're not wrong. So
Brandon, God bless you.
So I clumsily did it today. We'll iterate that till it gets better.
I think that's pretty good.
But now
it was good for starting. And now we can.
Now we're jibber jabber.
Yeah, we can jibber jabber. We love this part of the segment.
This is the part
most of our listeners do too.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start off with
Chelsea news.
God, Chelsea news. So
Chelsea's going to have a lot of news this month.
Yeah, we got some great things going on in the world of Chelsea. She won the March Madness pool.
She had 2 brackets in the March Madness pool. She, if my memory serves, she came in first, and she came in third.
Which that's news to me because I thought she got first and second. Which you could do 2 brackets. Mm-hmm. And you pay $10 a bracket.
She did pick different champions in both brackets, by the way.
No, for sure. The crazy thing is, our March Madness pool this year was over in the Elite Eight.
Yeah, it was over fast.
No one had a Final Four contestant picked. Maybe one.
It was a pretty bad year for the high seeds.
Yeah,
that's what happened. But yeah,
it was a great year for the high seeds. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, sorry for the lower seeds. The high,
yeah,
which way do you go?
Yeah.
So yeah, she won that. She came in first and third. I think Sarah Kettner came in second.
Well, did you hear how she?
I got fourth and Zach got fifth. That's my memory of it.
That's remarkable. Did you hear how she picked her team?
Just willy-nilly, I'd guess.
Based off their butts. You heard that right. She picked her team based off butts.
Where did she get a butt lineup to even do this?
I don't even know.
Oh, my God.
And she won the pool.
Okay, well, obviously we need to have her back on the podcast to talk about her. I mean, do I have to start studying butts to learn this thing?
Well, and here, Trent and Mike are listening to this. She's going to deny it.
But you know what?
She's Miss Prim and Proper, but she won.
This is a little gross, but the proof's in the pudding because she won, didn't she?
That's pretty good. Hey, we have some really exciting agency news to announce. Jake Bentz, we are hiring him as a copywriter. He starts late April.
From the land of Rocky Balboa.
From the land of Rocky Balboa. Jake hails from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Found the job listing for a copywriter position on LinkedIn, and we flew him in last week. He's going to be a great culture fit. He's very talented.
LinkedIn is one of our topics today.
Yep, LinkedIn is one of our topics. That's right.
Yeah.
Very, very talented. Was at the Creative Circus in Atlanta for a couple of years. Has worked at major big boy agencies. And
he's come now to this big boy agency.
He's coming to this big boy agency, this growing big boy agency.
Yes.
We're really excited. Jake actually texted me yesterday saying that he is really excited to catch up on the podcast as he drives from Philadelphia to Tulsa. Now, here's the cool thing about Jake. Jake had never heard of our agency.
Okay.
Went to our website, was really impressed with all the work.
Okay.
Has a niche for B2B.
Oh.
And found that interesting.
We love that.
And he has no affiliation or association with Tulsa, Oklahoma. His family is in Philadelphia. His brother, his parents. And he is jet setting to Tulsa.
Gonna try this Midwestern lifestyle. See how
It's a great
goes.
lifestyle.
Yeah.
But anyway, kudos to Jake. We're excited to have you as part of the team, but he's taken a leap here. And at first I was a little skeptical because I was like, man, like I think Jake's 27 years old. That's a big move for a 27-year-old dude to come on over to Tulsa, Oklahoma, where he's never been here before. And he flew in, really loved the city, obviously loved the team, and he's going to be part of the agency.
Yep. And if he's listening to this on his car ride, just know that I've already referred to him as Jake from State Farm at least 5 times.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Jake. And by the way, I'm pretty sure that's your nickname. Everyone calls you Jake from State Farm. So welcome, buddy. We are very excited. I think April 24th is his start date.
Yeah.
I know Zach and Rocco are elated to have.
The whole creative side is pretty exciting.
It'll be great. There's some conceptual thinking that he brings, and obviously the talent to write copy for our clients.
Yeah.
Take the last announcement
addition.
away, Mr. Rupster.
I think it was yesterday.
2 days ago?
Was it 2 days ago or yesterday? I think yesterday, it might have been the day before,
Yesterday was Tuesday. It was yesterday.
What day is it?
My days are confused. Go ahead, sorry.
Our creative director, Mike Rocco, or just Rocco, we call him Rocco, had his birthday.
Happy birthday!
I don't know how old he was.
I do. And
if I did, I wouldn't say.
He celebrated his birthday yesterday. Happy birthday to
Happy
Rocco.
birthday to Rocco.
He had, I think, kind of a low-key day. It was no scheduled meeting day here at the agency yesterday, and I think he got to have some good time and just wrapping up some work. He and Shauna brought home a delicious meal for dinner, and he's cruising.
It wasn't one of the. It wasn't a. It wasn't a big one. It wasn't like a day.
It's not like a 50th.
He wasn't hitting
birthday
a day,
for
or 60th
for Roop. Yeah, no, or 60th.
Or 40th, whichever way it goes. But it was still. I'm sure he had a good day.
I wish he listened to the podcast. He'd be like, "What are you?"
He doesn't.
About?
He has no idea. Rocco has no idea. Jake can tell him.
Yeah.
When he gets here, he said, "Dude, you should probably start listening to the podcast. They talk about you a lot."
Oh goodness. Okay, so you've teased the topics.
Yeah, let's get into the
dive in.
topics.
Yeah, for sure.
Again, Little Bits went out Monday. So
Yeah.
you should have got that in your inbox. This Little Bits this month is almost, but not quite, entirely AI. There's so much happening in the world of AI. It's hard not for that to be the topic.
And there's some really tangible examples that we're going to throw out there next week of, and these are actually AI is very tangible as well in the sense of what this means for your B2B brand. But we regrouped this morning as an agency on the first Tuesday or Wednesday of every month. This month it was Wednesday.
We all get together and talk.
We get together and talk about them.
Yeah.
And Roop and Kelly talk us through. Brock walks through some inspiring ad campaigns. How do we think differently for our clients? But today, we literally got into the nitty-gritty of a lot of the AI platforms, which I think was super helpful for some people to see.
Yeah, what we've done is we've started asking little fielders to kind of present to the rest of the group how they're utilizing AI in their daily jobs.
Katie Kite did a nice job.
She did a great job.
Yeah, she did a really good job.
In fact, if you're listening and you're interested in some prompting that will help you on Midjourney. Midjourney is the image creation AI that you probably generate. Most of the images are generated that are good come from Midjourney, and there's a prompting tool that will kind of really refine that for you. And she presented that to the group today. I had no idea. It was a great tool.
Yeah, you were kind of blown away.
I was. Sydney presented some stuff I think was equally like
very,
everybody.
very cool.
It's good. The idea is that people are showing stuff and it does inspire everyone else to figure some things out or find some angles. So it was really good. So anyhow, Little Bits, yes, is mostly about AI this month. Topic 1 here though is not about AI.
Go for it.
So Meta, and that would be, you probably know them better as Facebook, but the parent company is called Meta. They own Instagram and WhatsApp and Facebook, among other things. They also own Oculus. And so the whole Metaverse you hear us talk about all the time, that's Meta, that's Facebook. To get into the Metaverse, you need a VR headset.
Yep.
And we've talked at length about these things getting smaller and easier to wear. But before they get smaller, apparently they're going to get a little cheaper. Meta has changed its mind on the VR headset prices once again with the announcement of new, cheaper Quest and Quest Pro units. The new prices have dropped as much as $70 in some cases. So it's a pretty big shift when you consider that Meta actually increased the price of both just 6 months ago amid rising costs and declining ad intake. But they are all in on this thing. And as they should be. It's one of those things that if you can... Grasshopper always says, Grasshopper Mowers, our client, always says that the best way to understand how good their product is to sit on it. And I think for Meta, it's similar.
Yes.
You kind of don't know until you've put the headset on and experienced it and really see what the possibilities are. We actually just last month, a few weeks ago, had a pretty nice Metaverse experience. I think we hinted on. Maybe we talked about it.
We talked about it last week because we gave Sean Hubbard major.
Oh yeah,
kudos.
Sean. Yeah. So our client Ditch Witch has a couple times now waded into the what's now called the Metaverse. They were in it before it was called the Metaverse, and now it's Metaverse. And are utilizing its tools and these headsets in ways that kind of promote their products and their brand at trade shows and make it easier to kind of show their massive equipment without having to transport that equipment, which is pretty neat.
And theoretically, we look at the evolution of, let's call it virtual reality, and then of course Meta, in the sense of when we did this for Ditch Witch years ago, 2017 at a massive trade show forum. It was a virtual reality experience, very much a shiny object at the time.
Yeah.
And I think great, right? Shows that they're advanced and they're thinking differently, just in the sense of, in the world of marketing, that we go and put this amazing experience on for this year's Con Expo, which we talked about last week. But here's the thing, right? Like, there's still, I think, that shiny object, to your point, like, to really if you just see a YouTube video showing you a Meta experience,
it's not the same at all.
It's not the same. You have to put the goggles on.
You have to be in it.
And when we were talking through this with Ditch Witch many months ago, they put themselves in the experience and like, holy cow, this is nuts. And it was being hyped up internally, and people are like, oh my gosh, like this is gonna be interesting. And then they put it on, they're like, oh my god, this is insane.
Yeah.
Right. And their customers and loyalists and prospective customers, like people were blown away. And here's the cool thing too, right? This is a great thing that Meta's doing to reduce the price. I think that's wonderful. It needs to be more affordable.
It'll help adoption.
Like think about big screen TVs when they first came out. They were ridiculous amounts of money.
Ashamed to admit how much I paid
right?
for
And now you can get a
TV.
65-inch TV for $500.
You can collect them.
Yeah, you can collect them. So that's, I think, trending in the right direction for Meta and these headsets. But we look at this not only, hey, in an actual cool experience, you and I are in the room, Roop, and we're doing this, but there's, especially for B2B companies with the dealership network, there's a lot of opportunities, how you're communicating with your customers, how you're meeting with people. The cost savings on transporting equipment's really expensive, right? Yeah. Sometimes we're still living in the day of age in the sense of there's an equipment shortage, right? If you don't have equipment, how are we showing customers the equipment? So there's a lot of great just opportunities for B2B companies to really leverage this, not only as a sales tool, but as a training tool, as an opportunity to meet with customers, to show them something different, to show them that, hey, our brand, our B2B brand is thinking ahead of what you could potentially get with our competitors.
And I think if you've seen VR or familiar with the Metaverse, you probably see a lot of kind of goofy looking avatars and games, and believe me, all that's there too. But there's a lot of really cool business applications for this that we're just kind of hitting the tip of the iceberg on, I think. And by the way, if you're a sports fan,
okay,
there's some free apps inside. I was just thinking about stuff beyond games and B2B. If you're a sports fan, my favorite app in the thing allows me to go into an arena and I can watch a basketball game, and it's a real basketball game.
Yep.
And I can sit courtside. I can move over behind the goal post. I can sit 3/4. I can go up into the suites. It lets me go wherever I want to in the arena and experience the game. And that's pretty dope.
It's pretty awesome.
But like that's an entertaining application where I'm experiencing the NBA's product. Your product as a B2B brand can be experienced in a very similar manner that's equally awe-inspiring. So like the idea that it's a toy and all that, it is, but it does a lot more. And I think this is great. One of the things that we said was going to be necessary for adaptation of the Metaverse was the headsets have to get less bulky and easier to kind of wear, and the price had to go down. So here's step one.
And I have a thought on the bulkiness, because if you go back to many podcasts ago, I always say, hey, until they get into kind of a Google Glass, a more seamless experience, which I think they will be there at some point. It is amazing in running the Ditch Witch Meta experience a couple of weeks ago, how quickly you get used to. There was one time where I forgot it was on my head, right?
Oh, really?
So it's still bulky, but the straps are a lot more comfortable. You can adjust it, etc. But you're in the experience and you're seeing all this, and it's pretty remarkable. And when you're really captivated in that sort of situation, you forget your surroundings and you come out of it and you're like, oh my gosh, right? Like
it's like
what are you doing? You weren't here when I put this headset on.
It reminds me of like roller skating when I was a kid. You roller skate for a few hours at the roller skating party at Skate World.
Yeah.
And then you take the skates off and you're like, whoa.
It's kind of wobbly.
Yeah. That's kind of what it reminds me of. Modern day roller skating.
And then topic number 2. So again,
moving along. Topic number 2.
LinkedIn.
Brandon, when we do topics, we go, ding. Okay. Notes for the producer, too. Yeah.
Gotcha. You guys are in sync today. Topic number 2, LinkedIn adds AI-generated profile summaries and job listings, okay? Yeah. LinkedIn, right, is owned by Microsoft.
Yep.
Microsoft's killing it in the AI space. They are seeking to integrate OpenAI's conversational GPT back-end into virtually all of its apps and functions.
Yeah.
So on LinkedIn, that is going to provide you new options for creating your LinkedIn profile. It's also adding AI-generated job descriptions. It's helping you position yourself well in a space that is very geared towards recruitment.
Yeah, it's helping you organize and put your best self forward.
Yes, 100%.
It's like having a friend.
Think of it.
A friend that knows you.
A friend that knows you. That's exactly right. Think of it in the company standpoint too, right? We post all the time on LinkedIn for Littlefield.
Yep.
Thought leadership, engaging articles. We're not expecting to make any sales on LinkedIn, but it's showing our clients that are engaged with us, any prospects that I'm prospecting, that this helps us position ourselves even better in the sense of how do people want to interact with said person or said company.
This topic in context of the bigger little bits. Go read the little bits because there's in context.
You guys
of
did a
that
great
one,
job. No, it's really good.
We kind of kick it off with, which we talked about last week, Google stumbling with Bard. Microsoft isn't having the same problems, and they're really kind of adapting. I don't want to say sneaky, but like they're just kind of like, it's happening. Hey, we own LinkedIn, and what can we do with it there?
Totally.
Hey, what can we do with image generation in our stuff? Like they're figuring it out in a way I think that is pretty natural and feels really smooth, and it feels very un-Microsoft. They are not a cool company at all. I mean, sure, I play
Sneaky
Xbox,
is a great word
but like
yeah.
all of a sudden they're kind of doing it right again, which is just bananas to me. But yeah, basically anything Microsoft owns, as I understand it, they've integrated now their AI technology into the browser that comes with. We're Apple people here, so but the browser comes default with Windows. I don't think it's called Edge anymore. Maybe it is called Edge. But yeah, they're pushing it into places where it makes sense for them. I think they're doing a really good job of kind of labeling and saying, here's your answer, here's your response, here's your AI generated content, and this is where we got it from, which is really important. Understanding the context of, I asked you for something, but how did you come up with this? That's how we're going to trust AI more, and we understand sources.
That's interesting.
Like they're doing some good stuff with it
regarding the platform, right? Like I think it is called Edge. Again, we're very much Apple people.
Very Apple people here.
But does it almost become a? Oh, we have Claire in the house. She's so cute. Chris Kaiser's little daughter. Does it almost become a widget, Roop? And you get, hey, here's how you can. We've talked about this as a tool. I think is it even beyond that?
I think it will evolve beyond that. Right now, yeah, a little bit. It's an add-on. In some cases, it's an add-on, right? Yeah. It's like we have an existing product or service. How can we enhance it through some AI usage? Exactly. In other cases, it's its own thing and is doing its own thing. But I mean, it's still early stages. There's some other stuff that we want to talk. Well, we'll kind of save maybe for next week. But Microsoft's also already figuring out the ad game here. Like,
it's interesting.
This stuff has to be monetized at some point beyond subscriptions, and advertising is going to be part of it, and they're starting to figure that out right now as well. Which is we'll save that one. That'll be one for next week.
No, I'm looking forward to it.
But anyhow, the AI stuff is here, and we're using it in all kinds of great ways. I think Brandon's already made a script and a movie and finished it while we were sitting here on AI. He's all about it.
He's been really quiet today.
Yeah, he has. Today.
So you guys will have this for our prospective customers. You'll have this in your inbox tomorrow. For our current customers, you will see that this will go live on our social channels later today. Next Tuesday, we are going to podcast today early. It's going to go live next Tuesday. Sammy is in Park City, Utah. I'm leading the Magnet first conference of the year. Myself and 2 other people are in charge of it. Guess what? It was all focused on artificial intelligence. Surprise, surprise.
You're prepared.
But also, I'm really excited. We've put together a great program in the sense of how do we better position ourselves and market ourselves as great agencies, independently owned, amazing agencies. So I'm very excited. We will go live next Tuesday. We'll talk about it then. And
also, this is Easter weekend, right?
It is. I was going to say Easter weekend. We are closed Friday and Monday as an added perk. So everyone's cranking here this week because we want everyone to enjoy their families. We got some beautiful weather here. I think it's 75 and sunny most of the weekend.
It's going to be wonderful.
So I'm very much looking forward to that. It is Masters week Everyone who knows me, it is a sacred week. It is kind of just
He has it pulled up on every TV at the office.
every TV. It's what Tara and I did last night until about 9 o'clock because we watched, Live from the Masters.
Is Tara also a golf fan?
Oh, not at all. But she's a great supporter. And I've got a great weekend ahead, of course, with some Easter family activities. But of course, some Masters. Some really, for those of you that are not golf fans, it is the mecca for me in the sense of once a year.
Yeah.
I'm glued to the couch and glued to a TV, and it's really the only time that's ever the case. So,
Tara, I'm sorry.
Honey, I love you. I'm sorry. But she understands. She's a good sport about it. So, happy Easter to our followers and to our listeners. We hope you have a wonderful weekend with your family.
Yeah, enjoy the spring weather.
Enjoy the spring weather for those Midwesterners. For those that are in Colorado and north of us, oh my gosh, I hope that it stops snowing. It's wild. Talked to Tara's grandmother last night, and it's still snowing there.
Really?
Oh my gosh, feet. It's insane. It's just wild.
Wow.
Okay, Roopster, next week.
Yeah, we'll see you next Tuesday,
Happy
right?
Easter, everybody. Thank you. We'll
Adios.
see you. Bye-bye.